So let's record here and let's start with something. Okay. So this is a tense that a lot of people have problems with. Okay. It looks complicated, but actually it's just a formula. So the first thing, we're going to imagine a different, you know, situation in the past. Okay. So for example, you can say, let's say when I was a boy, I didn't play the piano, but I imagine that I did play the piano. And then after this, you imagine a consequence of it. Imagine a consequence. Okay. Also in the past. Okay. So if you imagine something, or um, if there's a condition, if it's a conditional, what word do you start it with?
If
If. Okay. If. So if, and then that's a condition. So if I imagine something in the past that didn't happen, that was not true. For example, with the piano, I didn't play piano, but I imagine that I did.
if I would have played,
Ooh, close.
if I had
Had.
played,
If I had played the piano,
I would,
there you go. I would.
I would, I would,
Hmm.
I would be,
Oh,
or I would have been
I
a
would.
great pianist or a famous pianist.
I would have been a famous pianist.
Yeah. And I would have made a lot of money.
Exactly. Exactly. That's a good example. Okay. Well, here we want to look at this. So it's if and then the had, right? If and the had. We have to make sure that the had is connected to the if side. If, okay, I had and then played, right? This is the past participle. And then here is 1, 2, 3. Would is always the same. Have is always the same. And then this one, it changes. Okay. The other verbs, I would have been, I would have traveled, I would have worked, I would have, anything like that. Okay. So this one could be another, I would have traveled, I would have made a lot of money, I would have, you know, something. Okay. So right now we're going to just to start to make sure that everyone understands the basic construction. Okay. Let's imagine this. Okay, so each one is going to say a sentence, and you're going to say if plus had plus past participle, and then would plus have plus past participle. Same formula. Okay. And that if is, and then this is the situation that you imagine. If I had blah, 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 something that you didn't do, but that you imagine you did, and what would have happened after. Okay. So let's start with Fairy on this one.
Okay. If I had gone to rock concert,
Mhm.
I would have become sick.
Mhm. I would have become sick. Yeah. Or maybe gotten sick. I would have gotten sick is the best one. But become is the right tense. So it is right. If I had gone, to the rock concert, I would have gotten sick. Good. Because he imagines that he went, he didn't go. But he says, if I had gone, 1, 2, 3, I would have gotten sick. Good. Perfect. All right. Let's see. Aisha, you want to, imagine this? Can you give us an example?
If I had so many, if I had too much money, may I say?
If I had, you could have the two had, yeah. If I
If I had too many,
maybe a lot of money.
a lot of money, yes. If I had a lot of money, I would have been go around the world, I
Mhm.
say.
So I would have, that's good. Now, not I would have go, but I
Uh,
would have,
been
yeah, or
should be.
go with an N. Remember, there's an N here. So how?
I gone. Yes.
Gone.
I would have gone around the world, may I say?
Yeah. I would have gone, or I would have traveled, or I would have, but if you like gone, gone is good. I would have gone all over the world.
Yes.
Okay, just
All
remember,
over.
Aisha, it's two had. It's had and then had again. If I had gone, it's 1, 2. If I had played, 1, 2. If I had 1, if I
Heads.
had
Oh, I need to use 2 times.
2 times, because
Mhm.
this one is the helping verb and this is the main verb. Okay. So very good. All right. So Lukasz, give us some.
If I hadn't had an accident, I would have had a nice summer.
Wow, great sentence. Great sentence. So this one's the negative hadn't had, but it's very good. Hadn't had an accident, I would have had a great summer. Okay. Great summer. Very good.
Mhm.
Okay. So here again, if you're not sure, then 1 is here, 1 verb, 2 verbs. Good. And then here, 1, 2, 3. I would have had a good summer. Perfect. And then Nilufar.
So, um, if I had, uh, if I had had a dog, I would have walked with him.
I would have walked. Yeah, I would have walked with him. That's okay. The grammar's good. Well, I would have taken him for a walk, but that's good.
Yes, taken for a walk.
Good. Awesome. Very good, Emma. And very good, Nilufar. And now Emily, last one.
For example, if I had traveled a lot, I would have seen more cultures.
Exactly. Good. If I had 1 and then the main verb, good, would plus have plus past participle. So 2 and then 3. Good. Okay. So I think you understand the basics of it. Now we're going to do a few exercises to work on it. Okay. To figure this out. Then we're going to practice. Then we're going to use it. So hopefully, it will become easier as we work it. Okay. So you can find a PDF. I sent it to you in WhatsApp or in your email.
In chat?
Yeah, in the chat, but it's also
Okay.
in the Zoom chat. So you can find it here. And let me share what we're going to do. Okay. So here we're going to do this one right here. So before we do it, let's read this one. Okay. So let's see. So Lukasz, maybe can you read this box for us?
Yes, third conditionals. We use third conditionals to talk about imagined situations in the past. They usually have parts in if, close, referring to the situation, and a second clause showing results of consequences.
Exactly. So very good. So this is what we talked about. Okay. Imagined. Okay. And then the if is the situation that you imagine. And the second part, the would, have, and the verb is the consequent or the result of this. Okay. So here with your partner, exercise number 1. Okay. Look at these sentences here and answer these 4 questions here. Okay. If you're finished before the other group, because we'll have 2 groups, one group of 3, one group of 2. If you're finished before the other group, maybe practice some more examples. If I had won the lottery, if I had studied science, if I hadn't moved to Prague, I would have lived in, and then a different country. Okay. So look at this one right here. Okay. So let's go into our breakout room and work on this. Okay. So let's jump in. Let's jump into our breakout room and talk. Okay. Awesome. So join your partner.
Yes. Please start.
Okay. So first one, A. If he hadn't been so determined, Hussein could easily have given up and returned home. Okay.
Or
And Nilufar, you can read.
okay, and question. B1. Okay. If I'd stayed in Afghanistan, none of this would have happened. So the first question is about what structure is used in the if clauses. I think past perfect, right?
Good.
What's that?
You can do the next one. Yeah.
Second, which 2 modal verbs are used in the other clauses? Okay. In A, could, and in B,
It sounds like could, but it's
would.
would. Good.
Okay.
Very nice. Okay.
Then I which modal verbs are used in the other class?
So the modal verbs are like the short verbs that help others. So for example, it can be like may, might, must, shall.
If had, maybe.
Another one, that's the auxiliary before.
If
So it's a verb. So remember there is here, let me do. So if the so not in this section, but in the other one, in the second part.
could
Could.
would, like
Could is one, and there's another one in
Would.
the sentence.
Would.
Good. Okay, so these are modal verbs. Awesome. Okay. And cool. Next one. Who's next?
Emily?
Me. Yeah. For example, like what structure follows the modal verbs? And I think it's like it's like a modal verb, and we use like infinitive form, like
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, it is the infinitive of one verb. But what do you say? Like it's I would have.
have.
Yeah.
When you say have been, what is it together?
Auxiliary.
Like I have been to London. I have.
Like you like imagine it.
Mhm.
Like
It's a tense. What do you call a tense?
oh, the past.
Close. No. Something perfect. Have is present, so
Past continuous.
present perfect.
I don't understand it.
So I have been is a present perfect. It's like okay, everyone. Very good. So if you didn't finish, no problem. We will do it right now together. Okay. So let's do this one. All right. So let's see. Emily, can you read A, please?
Let's see. If he hadn't been so determined, Hussein could easily have given up and returned home.
Perfect. And Aisha, B.
If I stay in Afghanistan, none of this would be happened.
Yeah. So this is a would have.
Mm-hmm.
Would have, or you can say could be would have.
Would do.
Would have. Okay. Perfect. Very good reading. Awesome. And Fairy. Okay. Number 1.
So what structure is used in the if clauses? Okay, so after first if, past perfect.
Yes. Had been is past perfect. Okay. So
Yes.
had been is past perfect. Very good. Fairy.
And second part, after Hussein, a modal verb, and have plus past participle of the modal verb.
Okay, good. Okay. So next one. So the second one. So here, let's just write it down. So make which structure is used in the after the if, it's the past perfect. Past perfect. Okay. And which 2 modal verbs?
We have a could or would.
Okay. So these are modal verbs. They help other verbs like might, I might go, I can go, I will go. All these are modal verbs. Okay. But don't worry too much about it. Just, okay. Perfect. So would. And now, Lukasz, number 3.
Yes, what structure follows the modal verbs? What structure? Past perfect after the no. Present perfect.
Exactly.
Present perfect.
Exactly. So the present.
Have happened.
Exactly.
Have given.
Have given, have happened. That's the present perfect. So past perfect is I had given up. I had been. Present perfect is I have been. Okay.
So is it a present perfect? Because I think we should always use the have.
Yep. So it's could plus have, which is the present. Well, I don't actually, I mean, yeah, with he and his,
Yes,
and
yes.
yeah. With that no, because the main verb is the could, right? So that's the one that changes. He could have, not he could has been, but he could have been. Okay.
Okay.
But that's the only exception. So it's always have, and it's always, the past participle. Okay. So that's it. So and last one. So Nilofar, do you remember what really happened in each situation?
So in each situation, the first one determines I don't know, it's a hard question. I don't know how to explain.
Okay. So here, let me help you. Okay.
Okay.
So here, if he hadn't been so determined, they imagine, oh, if he hadn't been determined, he would have gone back home. Did he go back home or no?
Yes, I guess.
In reality, let's see. Who wants to help here? Okay.
He stayed in Australia.
He stayed, yeah.
Oh,
He stayed in Australia. He didn't. Not Austria, Australia. So he didn't give up because he was very determined. But this sentence imagines that he wasn't determined. Okay, but in reality, he was determined, and he stayed in Australia. He didn't return home.
yeah.
You see?
Yes.
Good. Good. Do you want to try B?
Okay. If I'd stayed in Afghanistan, none of this would have happened. So, if he didn't stay in Afghanistan, so none of this situation didn't happen.
Hmm? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, he didn't. He didn't stay in.
Okay.
You're right. He moved to
Yes.
Australia, but he imagined if I had stayed in Afghanistan, then I would be,
Mhm.
or I would be, unhappy. But he moved, so he is successful now. See, so
Okay.
very good. Any questions about this? Anyone? I know it can be complicated because there's a lot of verbs, a lot of different parts, but we're going to practice this right now. And after a little bit of practice, it will be easy. Okay. So here we have the first part of the sentence, and then we want to match it with the second part of the sentence. Okay. So
Okay.
imagine it. So just connect them. Just do one person does one and the other person does the other. Okay. So let's practice this. Let's practice this with a partner. Okay. Good. Good. Let's see. And let's see. Good. All right. So join your room for this exercise.
I can.
Okay.
Okay,
I have
great.
the first one. If the government hadn't helped the banks, the economy would have collapsed.
Or you can also start with the first one, the economy. So of course, it's true that you can change them.
It's possible both.
Yep. You can start.
Okay. The economy would collapsed if the government hadn't helped the banks.
Exactly. Very good, Lukash. Now,
Yes.
Now,
Okay.
your turn.
Okay. If it hadn't been for the war, uh, we would have stayed in our own country,
Yeah, that's a good one.
right?
Yep, exactly. We would have stayed in. Do you understand why?
Yes, I guess. So there wasn't the war, so
Mm,
they stayed at their country.
Well, it hadn't been for the war. There was a war, and so they moved. But if there was no war, stay. But there was a war, so they moved.
Yes, exactly. It's
So it's
negative hadn't. Yes.
war, move, no war, stay. So here it says, they would have stayed in their country
Mm,
if the war hadn't happened. You see?
Oh, okay. Yes. Now
Yeah.
I can understand a little. But how we can read or pronounce would have together?
Would have,
Would have?
yes.
Would you?
Wow. Okay.
Would have. Would have.
Would have. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'd
Thank you.
We'd say it quickly. We would have gone.
Would have.
Mhm.
Okay.
Perfect. Good. And Lukasz, back to you.
Number 3. If I hadn't had that teacher, I probably would never have gone to university.
Good. Perfect.
Mhm.
Also, David, we finished.
Sorry?
We finished.
Good. All right. Any questions or anything that's not totally clear?
Yeah, clear, I think.
Good. Okay, good. So the next exercise, we're going to go back. We're going to check it. And in 2 minutes after we check it, you will think of different endings. Okay, so you can start thinking about it right now. So for example, if I hadn't had that teacher, instead of I probably would never have gone to university, you could say I would have failed, or I would have had many problems. Okay.
Okay, first we are okay. First we're gonna think negative, right?
It can be positive.
Necessary.
You just-
Okay, but we're gonna use 3 sentences, right?
yeah. Well, actually, you'll do as many as you can with your partner, but you'll think of different endings. Different endings to the sentences. Okay. So, but don't worry, we'll check it first. All right, everyone. So hopefully you had enough time to finish it. We'll check the answers and we're moving quickly. So that's very good. Makes it very dynamic. So, Aisha, why don't you start with number 1?
The economy would collapse if the government hadn't had the banks.
Perfect. Okay. So good. This is a very good answer. Now this one, you could say would have.
Will
So this one you of course would have is the long way, but you can say
would okay.
would have. Okay. That's like the, phonetic would have. Okay. Very good. Very good, Aisha. Next one. Let's see. Ferry.
2. If it hadn't been for the war, we would have stayed in our own country.
Good. Okay. We would have stayed in. I should change the color. We'll do blue color here. Okay. Good. So good. We would have stayed in our own country. Perfect. Ferry and Nilofar.
So, number 3. If I hadn't had that teacher, I probably would never have gone to university.
Yes. It's very good. Perfect. And Emily.
Number 4, if we'd left a bit earlier, we might not have missed the train.
Exactly. Great sentence. And Lukasz.
The team might have won if all the players had been fit.
Perfect. Okay, and last one, back to Aisha.
Sorry, I missed. Could you repeat again?
Yeah, number 6.
Number 6. Okay. I would never have met my wife if I hadn't gone to that party.
Yes, if I hadn't gone to the party. Good. And this one you can also say I'd. Kind of like your name, like Aisha or Ice, but I.
Okay.
Good. Very good. Also, so now the next exercise is you're going to think of alternative endings. This is a great exercise because every time it's a little bit harder and it takes you to the place where you can create the sentences without thinking. But here, all the sentences will start with, we'll do one together. No, where is it? Where's the cursor? Okay, here. So here, you're going to take, for example, the first part, and then you're going to think of a different ending. Okay, so let's do this one. Okay,
You're gonna pick this sentence?
exactly. You're going to start it like this with this one, but then you are going to think of an ending. Your own.
Okay.
So
Okay.
not
You're gonna create.
not these, but your own.
Okay.
Okay. So for example, let's do one together and then you'll go with your group. Okay. So Ferry, give us one example.
Okay. For example, teacher. If I hadn't had that teacher, I wouldn't have become engineer.
Yeah, good. So remember an engineer.
And engineer.
Good. Very good. Okay. Now, Nilufar, give us an example.
Okay. So which one? So the team might have won.
Mhm.
The team might have won. Oh, I'm sorry. I should do negative one now.
No, just something with if. It doesn't have to be.
Okay.
This one's positive if all the players had been fit, but it can also be negative. But remember, it has to have if and it has to have the past perfect.
Oh, okay. So let's say like that. The team might have won if had, let's say, if Ronaldo had been there.
Yes. Good.
Okay.
Great sentence. Great sentence. Good.
Yeah.
And Emily.
For example, if all the singers had slept enough, the concert might have been better.
Oh, okay. That's a great one. But that's actually the next exercise, Emily. So the next is when you create your own sentence. You're ahead of the game. That's okay. It's good to be ahead. But right now, for this exercise, we are only doing these.
But I use the same structure if all the players had been fit, the same if all the singers had slept enough.
Oh, I see. You're taking the second part and changing it. Okay. Well, that's okay. It's the
But
same.
I can try another one. I mean,
that's it's as you wish. If you want
Uh-huh.
that, that's okay.
if we left a bit earlier, um, we might not have missed the flight.
We might not have missed. Okay, good.
Thank
Okay,
you.
good. And instead of would, she uses a different modal verb, which is might, right? So we would not have missed. That's okay. Or we might not have missed. It's also okay because could, would, might are both modal verbs. So that's okay. Very good. And Lukas.
I would never have met my wife if I hadn't gone to the church.
Yeah, good. If I hadn't gone to church. Good. Because if here, the if is in the second part. So that's good. Very good. And then past perfect. Had gone. Good. And last one before you go with your partner, for Aisha.
The last one is if I know if okay. I never have met my wife, right?
So yeah, I'd never
I
had.
I never have met my wife. I hadn't.
So if
Okay. If I hadn't find my soulmate,
if I hadn't found.
yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay, awesome. So here you're going to go to your partner and do the same thing we did, but for all of them. Okay. For all of them, you'll just do this same exercise that we did, but for all the sentences. Okay. And
Okay.
then that will be good practice for the next exercise, which is what Emily did, which you will create your own sentences. But right now, just use these models. Okay. It'll be easier like
Okay.
that. Good. Good, everyone. Okay. So here, let's see. Let's recreate the groups, 2 groups. Okay, very good. And exchange with perfect. And you can join your partner.
James. So who's gonna be first?
So if you want, you can start, Nilufar, if you want.
Okay. The economy would have collapsed if hadn't been Donald Trump. Can I say like that?
Yeah. You could say if Donald Trump hadn't been the president, maybe.
Yes, if Donald Trump hadn't been the president, the economy would have collapsed.
Good. Perfect. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And very good. Aisha, you want to go next?
Mm. Okay. I try to think opposite. Okay. If I hadn't had that teacher, but I need to say first sentence before this sentence, right?
You don't have to. You can start just if I hadn't had that teacher, and then you.
Probably I would. Um, I have no. I I'm talking about it's gonna be same. Sorry, let me think about it. If I hadn't had that teacher, I I would uh I would be musician, maybe.
I would be a musician. Good. Oh,
I
see.
will be a musician.
Good. Exactly. Exactly. Very good. I would actually. Sorry. Would be. That's. Would have been.
I
I
would
would.
have been.
There's three. If I hadn't been if I hadn't had
Mhm.
that teacher, would have, and then the third one. I would have become a musician.
Is there any different way, say, if I hadn't, like, for example, if I, how can I say, if I hadn't become teacher or something, any different kind sentence?
I mean, you can simplify it and you can say, "Oh, the teacher helped me become an engineer, but I'm not an engineer. I'm a musician."
Mhm.
Oh, but or something like that. You can make it into a lot of sentences, but this is
Mhm.
it's complex. It's
Mhm.
but it's a lot of ideas. You are imagining
Mhm.
that you didn't have the teacher. So you imagine no teacher in the past. So I became a musician
Mhm.
because you didn't have a teacher, but you did have the teacher. So you are not a musician.
Mhm.
Okay. So I would have become a musician. Okay. That's it. That's good. The grammar works. Very good. And very.
Second, if it hadn't been for the war, um, we might have met together abroad.
We might have met. We might have met abroad. Yes, actually. With met, you don't need to put together. We might have met abroad.
Okay.
Good. So continue with this. Okay. With this one. The easiest thing is always to think of the easiest situations, because just to master it, just the easy situations, just so that we don't get confused. And then later it will become easier to express.
Okay.
Okay, so very good. Let me just check with the other group and we'll go for about 2 more minutes.
That's well.
Okay. Maybe one sentence. Okay.
Yeah, it's your turn, I think. If you
Yes.
like it.
If I had practiced
Mhm.
every day with my body, I would have been healthier.
Good. Great sentence. I would have been healthier. Great. Great. Very good. Are you finished with these sentences?
Yes, so the imagined a lot of phrases.
I see. Very good. Okay. Emily, you want to try on the next one?
Yes, if we'd woke up a bit earlier,
Oh, well, if we had, and then not woke, but
walked.
uh, the,
Woke.
with an N.
Wait, woke.
Woken.
Oh, if we'd woken up a bit earlier, we might not have missed the bus.
Good. If we'd woken up earlier. Good. Okay. Awesome. Very good. Okay. Now, Lukasz, another one. It can be one of these ideas or it can be something else.
Number 9, one of the 9, number 9.
Mm.
Okay. Uh, we might not have missing the train when if we had drank many, not so well.
If we hadn't had too much to drink.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So I think we only have 2 seconds. Okay. All right. Any questions or things that you're not sure of? No? Good. So right now we're going to do the last level. Okay, this is the hardest level, but now I think you should be ready for it. You're going to go back to a different partner, and you are going to think of 3 important moments in your life. Okay. And then you can write 3. Right now you'll have time to write 3. I will help you. Conditional sentences to show how things could or would have been different if they had never happened. Okay. So I'm going to give you some ideas on how to think about it. Okay. And then you will explain to your partner these life situations. Okay. You can take notes if you think of something. So 3 important events in your life. So for me, it would be traveling the world when I was 23 years old. Okay. So then you imagine that this never happened. Imagine it never happened. I didn't travel. Ooh, how is my life different? Or how would my life have been different if I never traveled? So then here you would say, if I hadn't traveled the world, I imagine that I didn't travel. Imagine it never happened. If I hadn't traveled the world, I would have had boring job. Yeah. I don't have a boring job. I have a fun job, which is to teach you. It's a great job. I love it. But if I hadn't traveled the world, I would have been at a desk, maybe in a big office building, doing something. So that's something, imagine that. Or imagine that you met someone special, a wife, a friend. Okay. So I met my friend, John, and then imagine it never happened. Imagine it never happened. Imagine if I hadn't met John. Okay. If I hadn't met John, I would have never, learned about quantum physics. Because my friend John told me about quantum physics. He taught me, and I thought it was interesting, but I would have never discovered it. I would have never learned about it. I would have never discovered it. Would have. Okay. So I want you right now to think of the same thing. Okay. The 3 events in your life, and then to your partner, talk to your partner in detail about it. Okay. So it's not, you don't just read your sentence and then finished. You explain this event in detail, and then your partner will ask you questions. Oh, where did you travel? Oh, okay. If I hadn't traveled the world, blah, 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 I would have had a boring job. And then, what job would it have been? Okay. But the important thing here is to make it into a conversation, to talk about those important events in your life. Imagine that they never happened. Okay. And how would your life be different now? Okay. Good. So basically here it's freestyle. You try to use the grammar freestyle. Okay. In a conversation. So if you need some help, you can always call me, but I'll be jumping from group to group, helping you guys figure this out. Okay. And okay, perfect for Aisha, Emily. Good. So join your partner for this.
Mhm.
So, okay, let's me again. If I hadn't met my a girl best friend, I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known how to live. Let's say
How to live. Oh, wow. Okay. If you hadn't met your friend.
yes.
Wow. Okay. So now Lukas and Ferry, maybe ask her some questions about this friend. How did they meet? Get some more details.
Okay, so how long do you know your best friend?
Or how long have you known?
Okay.
Okay. So, for 3 years. Um,
For 3 years.
yes, for 3 years. We met on 8th grade. I was a new student at school. So yeah, still that time we're being friends or making friends. So yes, and we still have connection, and she's my closest person, except besides my family. I mean, so yes, she's my soulmate.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Lukas, a question about like situation.
How often do you meet this year? No, recently.
Or how long?
Recently,
How often have you met recently?
How often have you met?
oh, okay. So on August, uh, on not in the middle, in the end of August. I mean, I fly to the US and she fly to the Russian. So that's why last month we only talked by by apps like Telegram, like WhatsApp, So yeah, but before that, we 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 always we met often. I mean, at least 3-4 times a week.
Okay.
So
Nice.
yeah,
So just
actually, but
remember-
really,
Go ahead.
oh, sorry, what did you say?
Oh no, go ahead. You finish.
No, I just want to say, but however, we live not close to each other, but we always find the way how to meet. Yeah, I mean, yes, we always try to see each other.
Good. Perfect.
Yes.
No problem. Just remember to use the verbs in the past. So not in August I fly. In August I flew.
Oh, really? I thought it has third form. I mean, not third. I said flight. It's not correct, and right?
Flew.
Flew. Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
flew and not I find. We always find. Well, you can say we always find in the present, but if it's in the past, we always found time for each other.
We always find. I
Found.
found. Yes. Okay.
Good. So
Okay. Thank you.
continue talking, and make sure you take turns. So maybe right now, maybe Lukas can share
Yes.
you can ask questions, and then when everyone talks, then you can come back to Nilofar. Okay?
All right.
Everyone shares and everyone asks questions. Good.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's about love.
When you don't, please send us. I'm really curious.
But you can find me, I mean, on the internet.
Okay, just could you write down the song name and your correct name and
Converse, one moment. Like, let's see. Like, you can find me like this all the way. It's the name of the album.
nice. I'm
If you
taking
have like
picture.
Spotify or so. I just
Oh,
created.
you have also on Spotify, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the question. I just created a sentence about like my career. And I got some following questions. It was great. Thank you, Ice.
Good. Perfect. Now, who's next?
Ice.
Tell us a sentence or an important event in your life, Ice, and what happened or what would have happened.
Okay, if I hadn't go university,
Hadn't gone.
sorry, if I hadn't gone university, I would haven't a job right now. Say
Okay. So that's a good one. But maybe say I wouldn't have found this job.
I wouldn't found a job or something.
I wouldn't have.
I wouldn't have found this job. Oh, kind of hard. Why we are struggling right now? I don't know.
Well, but then it's good. It's good to struggle a little bit because this is advanced. You like simple, and that's where you are because you're an advanced speaker. You already understand everything, but I'm helping you to get to the highest level.
Yeah.
Like beginner, it's like if I go, I'm happy. If I eat, I am full. But here, it's if I hadn't eaten so much for lunch, I would have had so much energy. Or I would have been so active. I wouldn't have been so lazy. You see? So it's very advanced communication. But don't worry, it's in the beginning, it's always hard and then it becomes easier.
Mhm.
So maybe
But
Emma's
we need to create so many sentences because getting better.
exactly.
Getting better. It's a little bit confusing right now.
I see. Well, try practicing a little bit. So let's see. Let's ask a question. So let me write it here so it's easier. What would have happened if you hadn't moved to the US? So you did move to the US. You are in the US right now. But imagine that you hadn't moved to the US. Sorry, moved, not moved. You hadn't moved.
If I hadn't moved to the US, I would be unhappy.
I would have
been
good.
unhappy.
Been.
Yes.
Okay. So if I hadn't moved to the US, I would have, gotten a job in Istanbul.
Yep.
Okay. I would have been unhappy. Okay.
Yes, totally.
I would have, stayed or, I would have stayed in my country. You
We
see?
always using third, I don't remember what is the word name per second,
Yeah,
first,
past,
and third.
past participles.
Yes, past first.
Yeah, the third form. It's the
Mhm.
same form here. Okay, but that's good. So maybe Emily, maybe ask her a question about the sentence that she said about the first one about her
For-
job.
For example, what would have happened if you hadn't gone to the university?
Right.
Okay, if I hadn't gone to university, I had, I had, I had, haven't.
I would.
No, I'm sorry. I would haven't. I would. Okay, I would hadn't found a job.
Wouldn't
I wouldn't
have.
have. I wouldn't have found a
Good.
job.
Good. Okay. So we're gonna change partners so that you
Mhm.
can get some fresh practice. Okay. So I'm going to
Okay.
bring a new partner here for Aisha. Okay. I'm gonna bring Nilufar here to room 2. And Emily, you can go with the other group and help them. Okay.
Okay.
Good. Okay. All right. So new partners. So now practice. Continue practicing. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Good.
So, hi, Aisa, right? Ais?
Yes. Yes. Hi, Nilofer.
Yes. Hi, Ken. So, what experience also I have? I don't know, maybe you can start
Let me
first.
ask question to you first, if you like.
Okay, yes.
If you hadn't, okay, if you hadn't gone to USA, no,
Good. Yes.
correct? Okay.
Yeah.
If you hadn't gone to USA,
Maybe moved to the
yeah,
U.
if you hadn't moved to the USA, what you would
So what would you
what would you have
have done?
done? Yes.
Oh my God, what a question. Wow. Uh, so maybe, maybe I would, try to move into Europe. Maybe
Just look at this one. I would
I would.
have.
Exactly. I would have flew.
Well, this one's the third form, so it's flown with an N.
Okay. I would have flown to Europe maybe
Hmm.
because mm, I like my country a lot, I would say, but I uh, uh but I more like you know American vibes or other countries vibes, honestly. So that's why I would in any way I would study abroad if uh, if the
Remember,
US.
I would have studied.
I would again. Okay.
Always have. Would
Okay.
have, yeah.
All right. I would have studied in another abroad in any way. So yeah.
Good. So continue talking about these. I'll check with the other group, okay? Very good job.
Okay.
If you copied some parts of the songs from some other albums or singers, or
No, you can't do it because I mean, like they can find you and
I
you.
know, but if you know how to change it, then
Oh no, no. Actually, very like some people they think that it's really easy to get some notes or parts from different songs and to put them together and to create a new song. For example, my brother thinks the same way, but as we know, as I know, like like it's not a technique that you use for it. It's your soul or
Mhm.
heart that you use. That's why if you try to kind of um get different parts, like it's just a mess. Like you can't kind of get a hit because hit needs to go with your energy and your thoughts or like your past experiences or I mean like I know that because I mean maybe it doesn't work for me, but it's harder to kind of pick some notes or ideas from different musicians and to create your own song than like rather create it from the scratch, right?
Yeah. Good. Good. So let's see. Maybe Lucas, try asking a third conditional question.
Third conditional question.
Like what, for example, what would you have, then the verb, if you hadn't verb?
Okay.
Or where or who?
Switch who would have sang
Okay.
sung there
Who would have sung?
yes, sung if you hadn't musicians
Oh, so what
in
do we?
studio.
Oh, so what music? Who would you have sung with?
Sung?
Like with someone?
No, just solo part.
Oh, okay. Would you have? Okay, so who would you have? I don't know. I'm not sure I understand the question. So you're asking if she, who would she have worked with?
I don't know what Emily would be done
Oh,
if the musicians in the studio wasn't there.
oh, I see. Okay. So big question, Lucas. So what would you have done
Would you have done
if
if the musician hadn't been there?
you didn't have the studio?
Oh, actually, I've had this experience. Um, I mean, let's see. If the musicians hadn't been at the studio, I would have, I would have drunk coffee and I would have composed more.
Good. So now, Emily, ask a third conditional question for Fairy.
Oh, like, what would you have done if you had a pilot license?
If you had gotten,
If you had already gotten a pilot license,
oh, okay.
okay. So if I had already gotten pilot license, I would have booked a trip around Europe.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow. Nice. Nice. On a private jet, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Good. Good. Awesome. And then Fury, maybe a third conditional to finish. A third conditional question for Lukasz.
So Lukasz, it was about motorbike, yes?
Maybe?
Yes, okay. Okay,
Maybe about the dancing or skiing or everything.
Or music or
Yes.
okay, so what would you have
so what would you?
yes, what would you have done if you hadn't broken your motorbike?
Yeah. Or yeah, broken your bike. Good.
Okay. If I hadn't broken my bike, I
All right. So Lukasz, what would you have done if you hadn't crashed your bike?
if I hadn't broken my bike, I would have bought another one, and I have had
I would.
motorbikes.
Oh, I would have had two motorbikes. Oh, okay, good. All right, everyone. So if you need more practice, I have some exercises here that I can send you. Just let me know if you want more practice. Okay, so we're not going to do it in class. Right now is practice. If you want more, you can Google or go to YouTube and watch the third conditional videos. Okay, this is the third conditional. And if you want exercises,
I want.
I will send you. So I'll send Aisha some extra exercises for this.
Mhm.
If anybody wants them, let me know and I will send them to you so that you can practice.
David, it's possible to send on the WhatsApp?
Of course.
Nice.
Sounds good. So I will put you on the list too, Lukasz, for the
Right.
next.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Well, have a great week. I'll see some of you later, some of you on Thursday, some of you on Friday, but I will see you again soon.
It
Okay.
was great.
Thank
you.
you for
Nice lesson. See you.
Goodbye.
Guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.